Should you buy Fallout 76? No, really. Should you? Today, we are going to be laying everything across the board on Fallout 76. Is it a good game? Is it a great game? Is it a bad game? Is it a dog shit game? I don't know. We're going to discuss it today. What about its price tag? Is it worth the $60? Or should this type of game only be selling for $30 or $40? One awful thing we know about the game already is that the fact that the beta was the disaster. Yeah, I was one of the people that the beta ended up being deleted, so the first day the beta launched for PC, I could not play. And I've been waiting months to be able to play this game, and it was horrible, it was horrendous. I was very upset. It definitely did not keep me from canceling my pre-order though. Instead, I waited till the next beta day to try it out, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I had a great time, but that's my personal opinion. That's also because I just absolutely love all of Bethesda's games. And the main story is also extremely disappointing, but at the same time, amazing because you can play it with friends. Is it as good as Fallout 4's main story where you have to see your wife get shot and there's an emotional connection there and you're trying everything you can do to find your son, and then once you find your son you make the decision from there to join the Brotherhood of Steel or the Railroad or the Minutemen or any other faction and finish the game in your own way? And I don't know if Fallout 76 is going to be like that because I have not completed the whole story yet. I think I'm halfway through it, but you can play with your friends. You can have a great connection with them. You can try to discover it. You can try to, work together to get past like the obstacles that Bethesda puts in your way, the things that are hard to think through, those game moments whenever you're playing a mission and there's currently no walkthroughs that you can find for that mission, and your buddy ends up finding it, and that takes a huge stress release off of the game, because we play games to have fun. We don't play games to get stressed out and like, oh shit, what the fuck do I do? So if you love Bethesda games and if you love Fallout just for its intricate NPCs, obviously don't buy the game, because the only NPCs in the game are freaking robots, and the holotapes don't count as NPCs in my eyes, but it's kind of like their replacer for NPCs. And no, I don't see why Bethesda couldn't have put NPCs in the game if they have robots acting as NPCs, but I guess I don't understand. I think, and this is what I think, that it was meant to be like that so it would make you forced to have an interaction with other players, other people. The game's online only, it's a multiplayer game only, so maybe that's why there's no NPCs. Maybe it's not that they couldn't put them in there, although I think from all this backlash that they might come in an update and that might change things up. I guess we're just gonna have to see. But even if NPCs come, I don't think it's gonna be for like another year or so, and that change would have to be massive unless they just put NPCs in a DLC where you go off to like a freaking island or something and yada yada yada, but that's way down the road. So if you can't stand the fact that there aren't NPCs in the game, don't get it until, they maybe possibly eventually come. Now, even though that there aren't NPCs in the game, the story isn't bad. I am not going to say that the story is as good as Fallout 4's, but it's really fun because it adds that fact that you can play with your friends. Obviously, that's what this game has going for it. It's a Fallout game that you can play with your friends. Playing it alone, it does feel a little lonely. It doesn't feel as fun as normal Fallout games when you're questing. Really, the only thing that feels the same as playing a normal Fallout game is when you're building your base. That's about it. There's really nothing else. There's no major city for you to have cool interactions with other players. None of that. It's all built around you, your base, other players. That's what it's built around. Another huge downfall is that mods aren't going to come to this game until 2019, I think they said. I think a whole year, which is insane because that's what keeps Bethesda games alive. That's why I still play frickin' Old Rim. I mean, I played Special Edition more, but I still occasionally play Old Rim because certain mods are only available for Old Rim. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is you gotta ask yourself, would you still be playing Skyrim or Fallout 4 today if it had mods, and how early would you stop playing the game if it didn't have mods? Would you, if Fallout 4 came out today, you played it, you had a good time, how long would you be playing it? Would you be playing it 6 months and stop because there's no new cool content to play with? I don't know, maybe. I remember when Oblivion came out. I was a little kid. I had it for the Xbox 360. Actually, I didn't play Oblivion until like the full edition came out, and it was only like 30 bucks at the time, so it'd been a couple years. I played the shit out of that game for 2.5 years. I don't know how I did it, but I played that game every single day until Skyrim came out. And I don't know if I could have done that without Fallout 4 mods or Skyrim mods. I don't know if I would have done that with Skyrim. I wish I knew how, but I don't. I don't know how. So if mod support is really that important to you in these Bethesda games, then don't buy it. If it's really not that important to you, then maybe consider getting it. What about the color? What about the environment we have in Fallout 76? In Fallout 4, it got really boring really quick. It was really good because they had intricate NPCs, the stories were exciting and interesting. We don't have that in Fallout 76. What we do have is a beautiful, colorful environment that's filled with more life and still has that wasteland feeling. It's a Fallout environment that I don't feel like I could get bored with. But them water textures, are shit, mate. Oh, wait, fuck, that's Australian. Never mind. With Fallout 4, you could pause the game, you could switch out, get your favorite weapon, you could get a stim pack real quick. If you're not quick on the trigger with Fallout 76, you're dead. So you feel a lot more immersed in the game. Coming into this, I thought it was going to be a horrible thing because I always did it. I thought it was going to affect my play style, and it did. But it affected it in a good way. Like, that's one of the reasons Dark Souls is such an amazing game to me. It keeps you on your toes 100% of your time. You're not gonna get in your menu and change shit around unless you're in a safe place. It keeps you immersed in the game, which is obviously extremely important. So the next big deal with Fallout 76, and why a lot of people aren't buying it or pre-ordering it or anything like that, is the graphical fidelity of the game. And here's my honest opinion, I don't think it's that bad. Is it perfect? No. Is it on par with normal 2018 graphics? No. But I said it before, I'm going to keep on saying it, it's a Fallout game that you can play with your friends. Is the story as good? No. Is it still good? Yes, it is. It's a really fun... If you've been paying attention to what I've been doing besides just what I've been saying in the video, this is one of the main missions, and it's a ton of fun. I feel like I want to learn more about the Scorched. I want to get the nuke codes. I want to go do stuff. And it's good enough to where I can look past the graphics, past the glitches, past the bugs, past all the little issues that everyone's been talking about in the game. It's a fun story to play, and that's really what's important in these Bethesda role-playing RPG games. So my biggest concerns with the game so far are the fact that there's no NPCs, which that's not going to change for a while, and the VAT system. If they could keep it like how it is, except make it a lock-on system to where the gun is always pointing towards the enemy character and bullets aren't flying magically just because it shows a percentage and highlighted enemy and it, you know, does the thing. I don't know how else you describe it other than the thing where it just magically shoots them from any direction. If they could change that up, that'd be great. So I think I've ranted long enough. What I really want is, I really want to start a discussion in the comments. I want to know what you guys, my subscribers, think. If you're new to the channel, I want to know what you think. Are you gonna buy Fallout 76? Do you still think the game is absolute dog shit? Can you look past the shitty VAT system, the graphics not being on par with normal 2018 games? What about the fact that there are no NPCs in the game? Can you look past it? How important is it to you to actually play with friends, or do you normally play Bethesda games for a completely different reason that is not Fallout 76? Because that's what it is. It's the most unique multiplayer experience I've ever had. Take games like Ark Survival, for instance. It's hard not to, you know, get smashed in that game every day unless you do it like a full-time job. If you play online in the game, your hut is going to get, like, ravaged. You're going to get pillaged and raped. Then you've got other multiplayer games like Fortnite and Call of Duty. Now, obviously, Fallout 76 is nothing like those multiplayer games, because those are literally only PvP centered games. But how long has it been since we've had a game with PvP, but no one is murdering you, griefing you, any of that? It's all still in the game, which I think is an important aspect of the game, but it's not nearly as prevalent as it is in these other games, and that's why I love Fallout 76 so much. I can tell you with almost 20 hours of gameplay that this is an amazing, great game. It's one of my favorite games. I would go as far as to put it on my top 5 list. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Subscribe if you like what I had to say, and if you want to see more of these videos. I'm going to be covering a lot more Fallout 76 topics, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!